6 boys are found entombed in ice, and a deadly earthquake rocks the Solomon Islands.
Good evening. Welcome to 10 News Tonight, your connection to Oswego and beyond. I'm Ryan Maloney.
And I'm Jessica Wolf. SUNY Oswego's 30th annual college-wide open house was held today. Hundreds of students and parents toured the campus between 9:30 a.m. and 3 p.m., taking a look at the dorms, dining halls, academic buildings, and the home of our national hockey champs, the new campus center. According to the college's website, the number applications for next fall are already 15 higher than normal, and single rooms are no longer available in any dorms except Mackin due to high demands. One candidate has pulled his name from the running to head Oswego County's Department of Public Works. Jeffrey Peacock called the county personnel department today to say that he has lost interest in the position. According to Chairman Russ Johnson, Peacock was the unanimous choice of a search committee made up of county legislators.
Peacock's candidacy ran into trouble last week when news reports revealed he had not been reappointed to his post of highway engineer in Bureau County, Illinois. He had not shared that information with Oswego County officials. Johnson said that Peacock's failure to reveal this had raised concern. He added that the search committee would meet Tuesday to discuss alternative options. Kurt Osfeld will continue to serve as interim superintendent.
The former pastor of Pulaski's Christ Our Light Roman Catholic Church broke his leg playing hacky sack in Afghanistan last week. Reverend Sean O'Brien had 3 pins and a plate inserted into his right leg today, according to Parish Administrator Bill Flynn. O'Brien was playing with some troops at the Bagram Air Base, 40 miles north of Kabul, Afghanistan's capital. He was in the midst of a 6-month assignment when the injury occurred.
Funel Hall was evacuated around 8:40 this evening. Officials say a malfunctioning smoke detector on the 5th floor caused the evacuation. A university police representative says the malfunction could have been something as minor as a spider getting into the detector. This is Funel's 2nd evacuation in 2 days. The hall's alarms went off in the early hours Sunday morning, causing the first. Joshua Miller spent his first working day as the New Student Association president today. This morning, Miller told 10 News, quote, "I feel like it's been a long road to get here, but there are a lot of projects on the desk that I can't wait to get to," end quote. Physically getting to that desk proved a challenge this morning. In keeping with tradition, former President Dan Tiscarella had left a surprise for the incoming president. Cups full of water covered every available surface.
The day after Governor Eliot Spitzer and legislative leaders announced a conceptual state budget agreement, lawmakers started to put the unspoken understanding into writing. Among the conceptual agreements is a $1.3 billion tax rebate in the form of checks to taxpayers, with more going to the middle-class families. The funding is double the rebate pot that led to $300 checks for many property taxpayers last year, but I'm sorry. Hold on one second. But there are no estimates of typical checks yet. Irish President Mary McAleese will speak at Syracuse University in May. The school announced Monday that this is the first time in the university's 137-year history that a sitting head of state has visited campus. McAleese will give a free talk open to the public on May 1st in the university's Hendricks Chapel. Syracuse Chancellor Nancy Cantor said that her talk will be in the culmination of the centennial celebration of Syracuse's School of Education. In Buffalo, New York, an innocent man walks free after 22 years behind bars for crimes he didn't commit. A 7-minute court hearing cleared Anthony Capozzi's once tarnished name. Erie County Judge Shirley Troutman threw out Capozzi's 1987 conviction on 2 rapes based on recently discovered DNA evidence that linked the crimes to another man. 49-year-old Altimo Sanchez was arrested on January 15th after DNA evidence identified him as the serial criminal known as the Bike Path Rapist, and also as the man who raped the 2 women that Capozzi was wrongfully behind bars for.
What you gonna do with all that junk inside your trunk?
those are in the upper 30s. And guess what, guys? I looked at the Farmer's Almanac today. You know what it said for April 6th, the 11th?
What's that?
Cold temperatures and snow.
That's not good.
They can almost do a better forecast than me sometimes. Go figure, huh?
Some more lake effect.
More lake effect.
That's the worst thing you could have possibly told us.
Yeah. Not looking forward to the snow.
Yeah, we all aren't, actually. Not me, at least. So.
All right, well, thanks, Rob. Don't touch that remote, Oswego. We'll have your top headlines when we come back.
Which stuff got on here? Are you doing any of them?
It's just Arno I put on there. I'm just doing
You're just doing the one down here, though?
reporter, yeah.
8 Fort Drum soldiers base, 8 Fort Drum base soldiers killed in action have been killed in action in the past 3 days. According to a Fort Drum spokesman, 7 members of the 10th Mountain Division died in 3 separate incidents in Iraq over the weekend. Another soldier died in Afghanistan on Friday. According to the spokesman, the incidents involved a mix of deadly scenarios, not just roadside bombs. The names of the deceased are expected to be released within the week. Those of you traveling the Thruway tomorrow will have to be efficient with your fuel. The New York State Thruway Authority says it is changing concessionaires of gas at its travel plazas. That means gas will be temporarily unavailable at some plazas over the next few days. Tomorrow, fuel will be unavailable at the plazas in Pattersonville, Indian Castle, and the Westbound Plaza in Angola. Wednesday, gas will be unavailable at the plazas in Mohawk, Iroquois, Ulster, and Ontario. More information is available by visiting the website, not on your screen. A St. Lawrence County man was charged with vehicular manslaughter and drunken driving today. Authorities say 39-year-old Richard Hayes hit a golf cart with his van along Route 47 in Parrishville Friday night. The cart was driven by 15-year-old Jonathan Martin, who was ejected and killed. Hayes then crashed his van into a utility pole. He was treated at a local hospital for scrapes and bruises. He now sits in St. Lawrence County Jail on $50,000 bail. 2 Utica residents could face up to life in prison after police discovered a crack cocaine lab in their home. State police say Mark Miner and Karen Freeman were charged with first-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance. More than 5 ounces of crack and cocaine hydrochloride were seized from the home. An additional 13 ounces were seized from another house rented out by Miner and Freeman. Police also recovered marijuana and drug paraphernalia from the residents.
Thanks, Ryan, and here's a look at what's happening in your country. 3 Walt Disney Company employees were among 28 men charged with soliciting sex from a minor amid a week-long sting operation in the Orlando, Florida area, authorities said. The men, ranging in age from college students to their 40s and 50s, had chatted online with people they believed to be boys and girls ages 13 and 14, said Polk County Sheriff spokeswoman Donna Wood. Disney said in a statement released today, "We take matters like this very seriously," but Disney would not comment further. In Minneapolis, the bodies of 4-year-old Anthony White and 2-year-old Avery Lee Stately were found near their home in the Red Lake Indian Reservation. They were found encased in ice in a nearby First Thunders Lake. The 2 boys went missing on November 22nd of this past year. Authorities are unsure as to if foul play was involved in their deaths or if they just wandered out onto the lake's thin ice. To help determine what happened, autopsies will be conducted later this week.
Thanks, Jess. And here's a look at what's going on around your world. At least 13 people died in the Solomon Islands Monday after 2 earthquakes and a tsunami hit the western part of the island chain nation. Government spokesman Alfred Maisulia told CNN that an estimated 10 to 20 people were missing. He added it would likely be a day or 2 before more accurate information is known about the deaths and damage. Government officials say they were fortunate that the tsunami hit during daylight hours when the early warning signs of receding tides were visible. Unidentified gunmen killed 5 African Union peacekeepers in the Darfur region of Western Sudan Sunday, the deadliest single attack against the force in 3 years. According to an AU spokesman, the peacekeepers were guarding a water point near the Sudanese border when they came under fire. The chairman of the African Union Commission, Alpha Omar Konare, warned in a statement continued violence raised the possibility of a security breakdown. The British government said today that it and Iran share the goal to end the crisis over a captured British naval crew. A senior Iranian official said the city of Tehran did not plan to put the sailors and Marines on trial for Britain was responding to remarks by Iran's chief international negotiator, Eli Larihani. Larihani said Iran sought, in his words, to solve the problem through proper and diplomatic channels. Britain and Iran set off again March 23rd when Iran captured 15 sailors and Marines in the Persian Gulf, claiming they had trespassed. The effort to make the late Pope John Paul a saint took a great stride today. Promoters offered proof of a purported miracle at a ceremony in Rome's Basilica of St. John. The evidence handed over at the ceremony includes testimony from about 130 people. Included in that is documentation on a 46-year-old nun who had been diagnosed with Parkinson's, the same disease that plagued John Paul. 2 months after the Pope's passing, the nun inexplicably showed no signs of the disease. A cardinal requested that the process be fast-tracked, citing that John Paul's sanctity is evident. Today marks the 2nd anniversary of John Paul's death. And welcome back. I'm Brian Maloney alongside Jessica Wolf, and taking a look at the weather once again. So you should be positive about that lake effect.
I hope you guys didn't pack any of your gloves or hats or snow brushes or anything, because I'm honestly thinking we could see a good 2 inches of snow on Wednesday night. Terrible. It's April.
It's all that.
Who would have thought that would happen in April?
Well, old man Winter doesn't want to lift his claws up yet.
I'll tell you who thought that happened. The Farmer's Almanac did. They made a better forecast than me.
Wow, that's classic.
It's all that cold air falling from the backside. It's never good. Ben,
It's garbage.
Okay. In sports, the Lakers baseball team coming back from a 9-run deficit in the 9th.
Yeah, that is classic, though.
Were you there?
I was in the spirit.
Where's the dedication?
Classes, buddy.
All right, I guess that's a good enough excuse.
Ben, how about the Yankees today?
You know what? As a Met fan, I cannot physically acknowledge the Yankees.
They were down
They do not exist.
5-3, and they came back and won 9-5.
Well, yay for the Yankees.
A-Rod hit a home run.
A-Rod did have a home run.
I made an error.
There'll be more to come.
You know what? I still say he's getting way too much money.
All right, we're out of here. I'm Ryan